Before we start, I wanted to thank the musicians from the Yale School of Music. There you are. I wish we could do this. I wish we could do this at every press conference. I'm not sure if you're available. We also have some over at the police station. Dean Blocker, I think you were going to come up and say, there you are, a few words about your program.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Elicker and President Salovey. Our quartet today represents many groups from Yale that participate in the community. I can say for this quartet and for many others that they learn as much from working in the community as they give. And that's the great magic of what we do here. For those of us who live here a long time, but for our students who live here for 4 or 5 years. The Music in Schools program at Yale, with which these ladies are affiliated, serves around 1,200 students in the public schools. And these young artists have soloed with the New York Phil, the Soul Phil, all around the world. Can you imagine being a 10-year-old and studying with one of them? But what they would tell you is they're enriched by the lives of these young people that they work with and that we work with in this community. So Mayor Elicker and those of you who are representing the New Haven organizations that host us and help us enable these interactions where we not only can bring hope but receive hope, we thank you, and we look forward to the years ahead where these programs grow and are enriched. And I want to especially thank Christina Lee, our cellist, Rihanna Heath, the violist, and Kate Arndt and Anna Lee, our violinist. It's a great privilege to be here and to open up this momentous occasion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we start some remarks, wanted to make some acknowledgments, and I'm going to try to do this with my eyes just looking around the room. I see Alder Furlow, I see Alder Sabin, Alder DeCola. Of course, President Walker Myers is here. Other alders, Alder Marks, good to see you, Alder Marks. Any other alders? Senator Martin Looney is here. State representatives or state senators, good to see you. I also notice Dr. Brown, Dr. Bertolino from Gateway, Dr. Bertolino from Southern, and Garrett is here from the Chamber, Will from the Greater New Haven Community Foundation. I believe Dr. Camille may be here as well. Many other people. I'd also like to thank all of the people that are and acknowledge your presence that will call me later on telling me that I forgot to acknowledge your presence. Today's a historic moment. It's a historic moment. This is a really big deal. Today, Yale President Peter Salovey, Board of Alders President Taisha Walker-Myers, and I are announcing a historic commitment between Yale University and the city of New Haven that will see the university contribute an additional $52 million in voluntary payments to the city of New Haven over the next 6 years, and partner with the city in an effort to build a more equitable New Haven for all. This is the most significant commitment that Yale University has ever made to the city, and I'm grateful for Peter Salovey, your partnership and your team's partnership in making this happen. I'd like to turn it over to you to make some remarks. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Well, thank you, Mayor Elicker. I appreciate those warm remarks, and it is so wonderful to see so many of you here today. I won't try to acknowledge everybody, just a few. First of all, I'm delighted to be here with you, Mayor, and the Board of Alders, particularly President Taisha Walker-Myers, State Senate President Martin Looney, so many neighbors and friends with us today. Just one shout out, and that is to a special friend, Henry Fernandez, who really helped shepherd this day, this agreement forward, and I really appreciate your work. Obviously, my home team, I thank them every day for the hard work and partnership that they provide at Yale University. So I'm a longtime resident of this city, 41 years this year, and I've been a faculty member for about 36 years of those 41, and I'm just deeply grateful that today we can be together to honor and deepen Yale's strong, enduring relationship with the city of New Haven. The new commitments that we're announcing today are informed by decades of collaboration between members of Yale and the New Haven communities. And it is particularly meaningful that we are launching these new initiatives as we prepare to emerge from a pandemic. At this critical inflection point, Yale and New Haven are making an emphatic statement about our bond. We're choosing to work together to make the most of this remarkable moment in the city's history. Like never before, New Haven is poised for accelerated expansion and inclusive growth. The population is growing, along with the city's promising innovation and economic infrastructure. From new developments such as 101 College Street to flourishing residential, commercial, and research spaces, our city is entering a new era, an era that I haven't seen in my 41 years here. And I'm grateful to the governor for the state's role in encouraging and supporting private investment here in New Haven, projects like 101 College Street. And we have an extraordinary opportunity to position New Haven for sustained, inclusive development across every neighborhood. So as an anchor institution and the city's largest employer, Yale is proud to join New Haven and the state of Connecticut in increasing investments in our home city. First, Yale is extending its lead as the institution that makes the largest annual voluntary contribution of any U.S. college or university to its home city. We're increasing Yale's voluntary contribution, as you heard, to New Haven by $52 million over the next 6 years, $52 million over the next 6 years. This equates to over $135 million in our total voluntary payments to support, for example, our libraries, the education of our children, many vital city services. Combined with funding from the state's new pilot program, continued contributions by the private sector, federal support, we will make a tremendous positive difference in this city. Mentioning pilot, let me take a moment to thank Senator Looney for his vision and creativity in rethinking the pilot program in a way that has greater impact on New Haven. So in addition to the increase in our voluntary payment, Yale will also gradually offset the loss in tax revenues if the university should take properties off the tax roll to create facilities for teaching and research. We have an innovative strategy that will allow Yale to provide long-term benefits both to the university and the city through our growth, while ensuring that New Haven does not lose out on tax revenue in the short term. Although our financial support is important, Yale is committing more than just dollars today. We've all seen how American cities have faced a host of challenges, many of which were exacerbated by the COVID pandemic. So we're establishing a new Center for Inclusive Growth to help address these problems. The center will examine, develop, and implement new strategies for growing the city's economy to the benefit of all New Haven residents. It will complement work that is being done by the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, by Concord, Next Haven, Collab, Black Business Alliance, New Haven Innovation Collaborative, and many other organizations concerned about this challenge. So I've asked Professor Kerwin Charles, the Indra Nooyi Dean of the Yale School of Management, to launch this effort, and he is with us today. There he is in the back. So he'll have the help of an advisory committee of university, city, and community leaders, and we will bring together Yale's scholarly strengths to bear on issues at our front door, at our city's front door. The Center for Inclusive Growth will demonstrate the power of our partnership with New Haven in action. So, of course, the center will be opening in a city that has been undergoing a wonderful renaissance. Over the years, artistic, cultural, and dining destinations have emerged across our city, generating economic development, inviting more people to discover our vibrant community. So I'm delighted that another element of our plan, our partnership together, creates a new public space where friends and neighbors can gather. By converting High Street between Chapel and Elm Streets into a pedestrian walkway free of vehicle access, we'll foster an attractive social hub near iconic and city landmarks that everyone can enjoy. Just to be clear, the city will continue to own the street. Yale will redevelop and design this space and fund the renovation of it into a pedestrian mall. So the new investments we're launching represent a major step forward in Yale's enduring commitment to New Haven. At the same time, we will continue to support an array of existing Yale programs expected to total over an additional $100 million in contributions over the next 6 years. So, for example, New Haven Promise, which provides scholarships for the city's public school students to attend any university in Connecticut, will continue to be an investment focus for Yale. The Yale University Homebuyer Program that helps our employees purchase homes in the city will continue to be supported. New Haven Works, which offers job training and placement and other services, continues to be a focus. Each of these initiatives, including contributions to the Downtown Business Improvement District, cultural events, and other local causes, helps create a stronger and more resilient community together. A community where we all can live, where we all can work, where we can feel that partnership between the university and the city itself. I believe that our actions can exemplify how institutions of higher education can continue to partner with their home cities to serve the common good. And I hope we serve as an inspiration to others. I'm so grateful to join all of you, particularly Mayor Elicker, in writing the next chapter in Yale and New Haven's shared history. And I can't wait to get to work on all that lays ahead of us. Hand in hand, we will create an exciting and prosperous future for everyone here, for everyone in our city, and for those who will come after us. Thank you all for being here. Mayor Elicker, thank you for your support.
Thank you, Peter, for your partnership and your leadership and commitment to the city of New Haven. Peter and I have gotten to know each other quite well over the past 2 years, and to think back on our first meeting and how far we've come in our trust for each other, but I think more importantly, the representation of the university and the city's trust and collaboration is a testament to you and your team's willingness to really work hard to get this across the finish line.
Thank you, Mayor, and absolutely feel the same way about you and your team.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank both teams that have made this possible. To the Yale team, you have worked tirelessly and come to the table with openness and honesty. And to our city team, Michael Gormany, Kevin Alvarez, Sean Madison, Sue Weisselberg, a volunteer, Mike Piscatelli, thank you for expanding your work to include this very important project. And to Henry, the lead on the city's team, who has volunteered hours and hours of your time, your wisdom, your expertise over this past year. Thank you for what you've helped us all accomplish together. I spoke with Peter last night, and we both felt that it was very important to acknowledge the work that you have done and to ask you to share some words with all of us. Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. My family thanks you as well for our being able to get their husband and dad back after a year of this effort. But it was wonderful. I do want to give. I want to echo what the mayor said about the teams on both sides here. It was wonderful to work with all of you. But I want to give a special thanks to Jack Callahan from Yale, who's a son of New Haven and an honest negotiating partner on the other side. Thank you, Jack. So I want to start by just talking a little bit about what we did. We spent time understanding each other's positions. It was apparent that over the years, as people changed in offices and new actors emerged, both relationships and understandings between the university and the city weren't present. I don't mean that everyone became friends through this process, and that certainly was not our goal. But we were able to explain our positions and understand each other's goals and interests. I think Yale came to understand that New Haven was addressing structural problems inherent in how state law treats cities and taxes city residents. The city's team came to understand how Yale sees its growth and how it is balancing competing demands within its own institution. We spent some time as a group also discussing issues that are far bigger than either the city or the university. These issues include matters of racial justice and economic disparity that have built up over centuries in our city and our country, and the recent ramifications of these issues in the context of COVID-19, climate change, and the protest movements around policing across the country and the globe. And while these issues are bigger than any one of us, or either the city or the university, that doesn't mean that we can ignore history or that we can ignore equity or the disparities that are obvious for all of us in our city. As President Salovey mentioned, we sought to tackle three significant issues. First is the amount of funding that goes from the university to the city in voluntary payments. And I just want to be really clear about what we're talking about. In the first year, over $23 million will go from the university to the city. It will go up every year over the course of 5 years. And then it will drop in year 6, which I suggest to the mayor would be a good time to start negotiating before you get there. Sorry, now that we're done, there's a big red light in year 6. Pay attention to it. As a result of this agreement, Yale now contributes more than any other university to its hometown. In the past, different universities could quibble about whether they were paying more or how to count one kind of payment structure over another. There is no longer anything to quibble about. Yale's annual contributions do not have anything close to them. I firmly believe, however, that other universities should see this as the new standard. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, in a time of great economic disparity, where anti-democratic forces use these tragedies to try to divide us. In this moment, other well-known universities around the country can only truly be great if they try to beat what we have done and reset again the standard. But for today, I feel good about the new standard that we have set. Second is the issue of taxable properties. Connecticut cities have historically relied on property taxes to pay their bills. Indeed, it has been the only major tool that they control. This has created a negative town-gown dynamic between New Haven and Yale, basically forever. Because of the hard work of Senator Looney and the entire New Haven delegation, tiered pilot is now a reality. This new relationship between the city and Yale is possible in part because of tiered pilot. Specifically, Yale will make payments to the city for any properties taken off the tax rolls at the full amount for 3 years, and then in declining amounts for another 10 years. Because of the combination of pilot and Yale's commitment, the city will now be whole for years after any conversion of property to tax exempt. That takes care of the short and medium term. And in the long term, we believe that growth at the university, for instance in the sciences, will help create tax-paying buildings for businesses and good-paying jobs. Third, we recognize the issues of disparity that I mentioned earlier. To tackle these, the university and the city will work together at the Center for Inclusive Growth. And as the president and mayor, as the president said, and the mayor will say, I'm excited for the leadership of Dean Kerwin Charles. This center will not simply study the problems, but instead will use best research to facilitate the city and the university's work together to address real issues in our neighborhoods. Those issues that affect low-income people, African Americans, Latinos, immigrants, and refugees in our community the most, including climate change, access to high-speed internet, and if we recall over the last 18 months, we saw the lack of high-speed internet play out with our school children dramatically. Also jobs, affordable housing, and a myriad of other needs. The simple idea is that we can build a city and the people, the simple idea is that we can build a city that grows and benefits both Yale University in the center of our community and the people across the city of all backgrounds and all neighborhoods who love this city and call it home. In 5 or 6 years, the city and Yale can reevaluate. We probably got some things right and may have gotten some things wrong. They may need to be more aggressive in some areas and back off in others. Now I do want to say a word about the street, about High Street. Certainly, Yale is interested in having High Street operate as no longer a street for cars. But we agreed early on that we would do so differently than done previously. High Street will remain a public thoroughfare, legally owned by the City of New Haven. Yale will design it in consultation with the city, specifically to ensure that it is a place for all New Haveners, whether walking or on bicycles, whether studying at Yale or at Hill House. We look forward to a beautiful new destination that welcomes all of us and guests from around the world. Finally, having volunteered for this role, I ask only in return that the city and the university see this agreement as a starting point. It can be the first step in a new way of working together, or we can see it as a series of transactions. It is, I believe, a fair set of transactions, and in 5 years, the parties will need to get together to negotiate again. But my hope is that what we've assembled here shows that we can do much bigger things together, that we can work together to ensure that tiered pilot stays in place, can support Senator Looney in that we can do large renewable energy projects together that make New Haven a center of what's possible, that Yale students and students at Wexler Grant can have ridiculously fast internet, and all of the opportunities that come with that, because we can work together to cover our downtown and our neighborhoods with fiber optics. That we set new standards for growth that focus on good-paying jobs and allow our residents to benefit equally from that growth. That we'll be aggressive in rebuilding neighborhoods And if we are able to tackle these bigger things together, we can all rejoice when a new building is built at Yale, just as much as we can rejoice when more affordable housing is built in one of our new residential high-rises or one of our neighborhoods. Because cities are great only when they benefit us all. Our city will be great when we all look out for each other. And when those with power and opportunity use it to make our city more equal and just. With that, I'd like to say thank you to the mayor. I'll turn over the keys. You can drive the car. I'm done. But thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you again, Henry. This is a real win for New Haven, the New Haven community, and it's a win for Yale University, because what's good for New Haven is good for Yale. For years, so many people have contributed to making this moment a possibility. New Haven Rising, Unite Here, the Board of Alders, our state delegation, faith leaders, residents who have attended public meetings, people who have talked about it, emailed about it, written about it, posted on social media about it. This moment is because of your work. Without you, we would not be here today. And President Salve and Henry went over the 4 points of the commitment, and I want to talk a little bit about what these points actually mean for the city and Yale. First, the increase in voluntary payments from the university will amount to over, as Peter said, $135 million over the next 6 years. To put this in perspective, Yale will be contributing to the city more over the next 6 years than it has in the past 20 years. At a time when the city has been facing significant financial challenges, the university has now acknowledged that we need to partner together to address them. Yale's increased contribution, combined with the increased pilot payments championed by our state delegation and Senator Looney, means that this fiscal year, the city will have received a total of $59 million in additional contributions, or over 10% of our overall budget. That's truly remarkable. And it's an acknowledgement that all parties, when we work together, can accomplish incredible things. Second, Yale's voluntary offset of the loss of tax revenues when they take a property off the tax rolls. For years, Yale's growth has taken taxable property off the grand list, putting pressure on the city's budget and taxpayers. It's created a dynamic where many felt that Yale's growth wasn't benefiting our city. This new innovative approach better aligns the city and Yale's interests, and means that Yale's growth benefits our city not just through more jobs and economic activity, but also by maintaining a tax revenue. Now, when Yale grows, we all benefit. Third, the block of High Street between Elm and Chapel. In the past, the city has sold public assets to the university. In this commitment, we work to accomplish the goal of making the block of High Street safer for Yale constituents and all community members, in a way that ensures the street remains a public asset for all to enjoy. Not only do we ensure that that property remains in the public domain, but together we set the right tone, that Yale is a part of our community. And finally, the Center for Inclusive Growth. While each component of the commitment announced today is important, I believe the creation of this center, in particular, meets this moment in time in history. When we started the conversation with Yale, it wasn't just about writing a check. It was about how we work together to change our city so that opportunities experienced by some in our community could be experienced by all. This is a challenge our world is struggling with. And Yale has decided to do this work in its own backyard, in its home, New Haven. Yale's enthusiasm for the center is key to its success. President Salve has been serious, not just about this in words, but in who he is asked to take it on, with Dean Charles, who has specific expertise in intergenerational transmission of economic status and wealth inequality. Did I get that right? Mostly. And the fact that Yale is contributing an additional $5 million to help start this center. We all know that New Haven is growing. And while our team at the city works very hard to ensure that that growth is equitable, still there is much work ahead of us so that communities, particularly communities of color, who have historically been under-resourced, will benefit from this growth. The Center for Inclusive Growth will set the tone that the university and the city work together to ensure that everyone in New Haven has the opportunity to thrive. There are vast opportunities here for harnessing both the real and intellectual capital of the university through the center and expanding its impact through partnerships with the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, other local colleges and universities, and other partners in the region. Taken together, today's commitments fundamentally reset the relationship between Yale and the city of New Haven. And they put the city on a more sustainable financial path. And they acknowledge that the university and city are committing to ensuring that everyone in our city has the opportunity to thrive. This would not have been possible without the partnership and long work of years and years by President Taisha Walker-Myers. And I invite her up to speak.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to thank the mayor and President Salovey and Mr. Fernandez for laying out the details of the deal, because now I don't have to do that. But I think it's really important that I'm here to speak for the thousands of residents that work with the unions and elected officials that brought awareness to the things that we need in New Haven, that never took their foot off of the gas, that continue to force the conversations. And the greatest part of the agreement today for me is that those residents finally have an opportunity to see that Yale actually heard what they were saying. This is a great start. I'm looking forward to the partnership and the part of the partnership where we're having the real conversations about the things that our residents need. I'm looking for the uncomfortable parts of the conversations that will happen, because anytime I'm involved, that come up sometime, about what our residents really need. I'm looking forward to the part of the conversation where we actually have results about bringing people in this city out of poverty. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I think that's really important. And this agreement, it is historic, as the mayor said. It's historic because we actually had unions, elected officials, and community members all working together over a number of years saying, Yale, please hear our cry. We have needs that we really need help addressing. And Yale stepped up and said, we're hearing you, we're listening. But a partnership is not over once an agreement is signed. It goes far beyond that. So today is historic, and I'm actually really proud to stand here. I don't come to many things if I don't believe in it. But anything that I'm involved in, I won't take my foot off the gas. I won't stop pressing the real issues. I won't stop speaking for the residents that felt like they never had a voice up until now. I'll continue doing that. And I know that Yale hear, they hear that call. I work with them in many different capacities, and I'm always the same way, I might add, in all of those spaces. But for me, in order to really be celebrating, and we are celebrating because this is historic, this is great for our city, but the things that I really care about, because I grew up here too, I am one of those residents that felt like, you get what you get from Yale and you can't get anything else. So I'm standing here today for all those people that didn't have faith that a real partnership was going to happen. So it's my responsibility to make sure that happened, and I won't stop. I just want to let you know now. It will get uncomfortable, but we will get results. Thank you.
I think there's a lot of us in this room that can testify to that discomfort that sometimes we feel when talking with President Walker-Myers. Dean Charles, would you mind coming up and saying a few words about the center?
I'm delighted to be here. I am grateful to have been included in the team on the Yale side, and even more grateful that over the course of the last several months, we on the Yale side, and I speak for myself personally, have gotten a chance to learn, to meet, to know, to befriend our partners on the New Haven side. I say partners because it is my conviction, and I believe the view of the Yale side, if we call it that more generally, that Yale's thriving is tied up with New Haven's success and vice versa. Yes? I'm stimulated by where we have reached today, the point we've reached. During the course of the last several months, various things occurred to me. I, for example, learned about activities in which Yale is already engaged and has been engaged for many years, scattered across the university. We just saw the music program, about which I previously knew nothing. There are similar opportunities, or activities. Whereas Yale has been engaged in activities in this university-wide fashion, any honest assessment of the city's needs and this historical moment make clear, it seems to me, that there is opportunity and space for activities that foster inclusive growth. What is meant by that term? What is inclusive growth? Obviously, there's a part of it that is about growth. By growth, I think we jointly mean vibrant and robust and thriving economic activity. Yes? But I think jointly, we don't merely mean that. We mean thriving, robust economic activity that promotes health and safety, for example. That is sustainable, for example. Yes? But even more than that, the reason we include as a group the inclusive piece is that we are jointly committed to the idea that such growth as occurs in our community, the benefits of that growth must be diffusely spread across our community's neighborhoods, our community's racial groups. It must benefit whatever growth occurs, all of New Haven. Yeah? So when I think about what we might do on the inclusive growth side, I think there are multiple opportunities here to enlarge upon ongoing programs and to institute new ones. Enlarge upon ongoing programs and implement new ones with the aim, guided by the principle, I might say, that whatever new initiatives we start have the following features. That they be truly collaborative. That they be genuinely respectful, which is to say that whereas the Yale team might, in a particular case, interact with New Haven partners on a particular problem, we will not approach our conversation with the presumption that all the ideas rest on the Yale side. Yes? We believe that there is much to be learned from genuine collaboration. Our collaboration must be respectful. Yes? And the hope is that it will be mutually beneficial, both to Yale and to New Haven. The opportunities for this kind of inclusive activity, in my view, extend in every department at Yale, every school, every program. I'm the Dean of the Yale School of Management, and I speak to you as a representative of a single school. Were other deans present, I'm confident that each of them could point to some set of activities, ongoing or contemplated, yes, that would advance the ends I have just described. But if I may take a moment to speak about my school and how I envision where it sits in the new center we are launching. I believe that the Yale School of Management has an outsized imperative and similarly outsized opportunity to profitably and meaningfully contribute in the way I've just described. Why this outsized imperative? Of what do I speak? What do I mean by that? Our imperative is outsized and our opportunity is outsized because of the combination of our peculiar, distinctive mission at the Yale School of Management, the special expertise, interests, and talents of our students, and the research and scholarly focus of our faculty. A brief word about the mission. The Yale School of Management is the only business school in the country that is organized around a mission that says it seeks to train leaders for business and society, it says, and society. If that is truly our motto, if that is truly our animating value, let's begin by trying to help this society, the community in which we live, where our neighbors and friends are every day. Let's begin there, yes? This special motto and set of values of the school is reflected in the kinds of students who come to the school. The kinds of students who come to the school are animated by not only a desire to be successful business people, but to transform the world in a productive, useful, and meaningful way to the benefit of multiple stakeholders. The mayor knows a bit whereof I speak, because some of our students and our graduates go on to do things like become mayor of their city. Talk to me, yeah? So the mayor knows about that. So we have mission. We have the values of our students. Those students also possess certain kinds of human capital, expertise, and energy that will benefit our city and community. Our students can have internships here at the city. Our students can work on research projects imagined by the city team. Our students can engage in work with nonprofit organizations, conversations that I have already started as dean. Yes? On the research side, some of the questions, the research ideas that animate our faculty concern matters that are of interest to the city. We have experts in any number of fields: operations, finance, accounting, whose ideas would be of value to our city as the growth we all imagine and hope for occurs in the coming years. The nonprofit sector, launching entrepreneurial activity, social impact investing. I can go on. The precise details of all that will occur under the umbrella of our new initiative are not yet clear. But I can assure you that I and we collectively embark upon that mission with great enthusiasm. And I personally have profound confidence that although we'll have an uncomfortable conversation here and there, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That our success is assured if we bring to that effort the effort of collaboration, friendship, openness, and energy that we brought to our conversations over the last year. Thank you very much, Mayor.
So one of the speakers stole my run of show, but I'm pretty sure that we are at our last speaker here. And when you think about over this past 2 years what we've accomplished at a city, it is quite remarkable. Senator Looney, your leadership, I always talk about how I sat down at the Greek Olive with you just about 2 years ago, and you said I had this idea. This has dramatically benefited New Haven, but what we don't often talk about in New Haven is how many other towns and cities across our state have received a significant increase in the investment because of Senator Looney's work. Those cities and towns are ones of need. And so the impact that you had on our city is incredible, but the impact on our state as well. So Senator Looney, maybe you can finish us off here.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much, Mayor. This is truly an historic day with this announcement between the City of New Haven and Yale University. I want to congratulate Mayor Elicker, President Salovey, their negotiating teams, certainly Dean Charles and Mr. Callahan on the Yale side, Henry Fernandez, the visionary leader on the city side. Also like to give a shout out to my dear friend of 35 years, Sue Weisselberg, who was on the city team. And Sue is, as many know, a number of years ago, she served as counsel, very effectively as counsel to our House Democratic Caucus in the General Assembly, and then also directed the school construction program for the City of New Haven for many years, which also set a mark for the state in which a $1.5 billion program to revolutionize New Haven's physical plant of its schools, of which about $1.2 billion was paid by the state of Connecticut in that partnership, and her management of that inspired great confidence. But what we see here today, as has been discussed, is a new day, and one of the things I think that's most important. Early in the 2021 session, President Salovey said to me in a conversation, if the state of Connecticut is willing to enhance its commitment to the City of New Haven, Yale will certainly respond in kind and do the same. The state of Connecticut has done that, and today Yale announces that it is also doing that. And I think that that is a meeting of promises and commitments and aspirations on both sides. President Salve is someone I've known and admired for a long time. I think he's done a superb job as Yale president. We've developed a close working relationship, but years, in fact, a couple of decades before that, I worked closely as a board member of the Fairhaven Community Health Center with his wife, wonderfully public-spirited and brilliant woman, Martha Moret. So please say hello to Martha for me. And at the time, they lived within the service area of the Fairhaven Health Center. They lived in Fairhaven. So Peter Salve knows the view of New Haven from elsewhere than Hill House Avenue, because he has lived that too. So I wanted to thank him for that. Again, the pilot program that we were able to reconfigure in this session was something that had been percolating for a while. As Mayor Elliker and I strategized about it a couple of years ago at the Greek Olive, which is defunct, but the program, of course, is not. And what it amounted to was a recognition that that pilot needed a more expanded constituency. And the way to do that was to involve more towns in pilot eligibility. And the approach that we found to do that was to look at equalized net grand list per capita. And there are a large number of relatively poor communities in the state, notably in eastern Connecticut, that are struggling, even though they may not have a lot of tax-exempt property or pilot-eligible property. But to the extent that they do, if they have a net grand list per capita of under $100,000, as of course all the major cities do, they will get 50% reimbursement under pilot for the tax-exempt college and hospital and also state property. For those in the next tier, between $100,000 and $200,000 of tax-exempt property, those communities will get 40%, and then those over $200,000 in net grand list per capita will get 30%. Now, again, every tier is above the current level of reimbursement, which is about 25%. So one of the reasons we were able to develop broad-based consensus on this, that even the towns in the lowest tier were going to get a significant increase over what pilot had been most recently. So we believe that this will be transformative, coupled with the increase in funding for Yale over the life of this program, especially Yale's commitment to continue to pay taxes on properties newly taken off the tax rolls for a period of time. This is something that is going to result in what we hoped it would do. And I also want to especially thank my colleagues on this, especially Representative Tony Walker of New Haven, who is, of course, the House chair of the General Assembly's Appropriations Committee. In that position, she was critical in this enterprise. And also the Speaker of the House, Matt Ritter, who represents Hartford. And his support for this, of course, was critical. And his city, of course, is a major beneficiary of the reconfigured pilot as well. So, again, I'm glad we were able to come to this day. I had confidence from the very beginning that we would, because of the people involved and the honesty and the earnestness and the solidity of their commitment. So I think we have a great deal to celebrate today. Thank you all.